All right. Well, here we go. Welcome to another episode of Aftershocks at aftershockstv.com on the CMS Podcast Network. And joining us today, we've got the queen of heavy metal herself, who's here to talk about her new limited edition box set called Magic Diamonds Best of Rock Ballads and Rare Treasures. It comes out November 13th. Ms. Doro Pesch. Doro, thanks so much for coming on with us. How you doing?
Hey guys, I'm glad to be on your show. Thank you for having me. Yeah, I'm doing great. Yeah, actually
Awesome.
working in the studio all night because our touring plans got postponed. So, and
Sure.
that's the reason why I did the best of album. And yeah.
Okay, awesome. Well, it's great. Well, I was going to say, I mean, you obviously, you've had one hell of a career, Doro, and a career that's been as consistent and uninterrupted as there's been. So, of course, there was no way a little pandemic like this was going to get in your way. So, it doesn't look like it has
Yeah.
been. Um, but obviously, other than touring, you still, it seems like you're still as busy as ever. So, first off, let's talk about the box set that's coming out next month. It's got 56 songs on it. It also includes a bottle of your perfume and a fan scarf. So it's a cool little package you got with the box set. Tell us a bit though about with the box set in terms of the song selection. How did you go about picking the tracks for it, and how strenuous was it to actually decide which ones to include since you have such a large pool of songs to
Oh
choose from?
Yeah, I tell you, oh man, it was really difficult because I love all the
Mhm.
songs, and at first I thought I want to do a best of maybe 20 songs, and then it was 30 songs, then it was
Uh,
40 songs, then it was 50 songs, and then I
wow.
maxed out the CD capacity and the vinyl capacity. Usually you say 78 minutes per CD and
Mhm.
22 minutes on each side of vinyl. Pick my favorites. I talked to the fans and I asked them which versions they would like to hear or which songs they would like to hear again. And I just
Mhm.
I just grabbed it. That was what I while I was running around. That's it.
There it
That's
is.
it.
Very cool.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I don't even know how many songs are on, but yeah, I think it's 56. And yeah, and it's best of rock ballads and rare treasures, and rare treasures that's like lots of unreleased stuff. So I
Mhm.
think that's probably for diehard fans who have everything, that's
Sure.
probably the most interesting. And they're all my favorite duets on it, with Lemmy, Love Me Forever, and
Mhm.
Blaze Bailey. We sing Bad Blood together. Taya Tarun, Walking with the Angels, and with Udo Dirkschneider, Breaking the
Mhm.
Law with orchestra, and
Great.
Pete Steele, Descent, that's on too. And
Awesome.
man, I tell you, when I was reading through my archives and listening to all these songs, and many people they're not anymore with us, and I thought, oh
Mm.
man, it was so great to hear their voices, to feel their spirits. So, and Love
Mhm.
Me Forever with Lemmy, we recorded actually in LA with Bob Kulick,
Mhm.
who actually left us a couple of months ago. He
Yeah.
was such a killer, nice guy, great guitar
Mhm.
player. And we recorded Love Me Forever in his studio. He played guitar on it, and Eric Singer played drums on it.
Very cool.
Yeah, so it was pure joy to put it together, and we re-recorded many songs in the studio. We took many live versions, we remixed the live versions we recorded on our last tour, Forever Warriors Forever United, last year, when everything was normal and people were on fire, and it was so
Mm.
awesome. And yeah, so that was on one hand great, on the other hand heartbreaking. When you mix it, you hear everybody is like, singing along, and and
Mhm.
headbanging and going crazy. And now, yeah, we probably will not tour for a long time. We postponed everything for next year, early next year, but
Okay.
I don't know if it will happen. So we are
Mhm.
hoping for the best. Yeah.
Sure, that's all you can do right now. Yeah, no, I totally
Yeah.
understand. Well, speaking of Lemmy and old voices, obviously. I mean, I also saw that you recently lent your vocals to a cover of "Love Me Like a Reptile" that'll be on Dave Elvison's No Cover record, and that's really cool. I played on the song. It looks like there's a couple of other Megadeth alumni on there. Drummer Chuck Beeler and Greg Handevidt played on that song as well. And it's obviously it's known very well within the metal community that you and obviously Lemmy were very close friends. You guys did so many duets over the years. You even dedicated your last, full length record to him, and a lot of the tracks I know were inspired by your relationship with him as well. So first off, talk about your experience recording that track, which is obviously, it's much different than dedicating your own tracks to him. And overall, was was that experience a very emotional ride for you, or was it more of a celebratory sort of experience, or was it a bit of both when you did that
Uh,
song?
yeah, a bit of both. And talking
Mm.
about Lemmy, he's right here. You see there,
No, there
yes.
it is. Nice. Yeah.
Next to the
Awesome.
angel. And yeah,
Uh,
I miss him every day. I think of him every day. And
yeah.
yeah, actually, yeah, man, I'm super sad. Like my best friends, they are not anymore here. It was
Mm,
Lemmy and Ronnie James Dio. And yeah, but I'm so grateful that I even had the chance in life to meet them and to go on
mm,
tour together or to record stuff in the studio. Oh God, I couldn't be more happy. And yeah, it means a lot to me. But it's still, it's like, yeah, it man, it hurts. It hurts.
sure. Sure.
And I felt like Ronnie, James Dio, and Lemmy, if I would be in trouble, I always had the feeling I could call up in the middle of the night, and say,
Mm,
"Hey guys, I'm in trouble. I need help. I need your
mm,
support." So that is gone. Yeah, makes me feel a little lonely. But I have so
sure.
many fans, and I'm
Oh
in
yeah.
good. I'm in good company. The fans are my family. I love them more than anything. So
Hmm.
that's good. But yeah, but I think of Lemmy, and yeah, you were right. The last CD, Forever Boys, Forever Unite, I dedicated to Lemmy, and it
Hmm.
was the first song I wrote for this album, and it was called "Living Life to the Fullest." That was
Hmm.
when I was flying to Lemmy's funeral, and then suddenly I got this melody and the lyrics, and the whole song was there, and then yeah, and the record before our record Raise Your Fist, the first song for Raise Your Fist was Hero for
Okay.
Ronnie James Dio.
Hmm.
And yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no, totally. I mean, and obviously, yeah, it's never like you said. I mean, unfortunately, a lot of our heroes are little by little, obviously, are starting to not be with us any longer. So I guess it's just
Yeah.
at least we always have their music to celebrate, and I think it's really cool that you did a great cover there with David Ellison for his record, and definitely
Yeah.
can't wait to check that out. Yeah, definitely can't wait to check that
Yeah.
out. Well, one of the reasons why you've had such an illustrious career, Doro, and you're so respected by metal fans in general, I think has to do with a choice you made also earlier in your career, and that was the fact that you never went and took the sex symbol bait route there, right? I mean, most of the other female vocalists at the time, and I'm not knocking them for doing that, obviously. I mean, I totally understand why a lot of them went that route. Obviously, you have to separate yourself and grab the fans' attention somehow, but you definitely took a road less traveled, and you let your voice and your music do the bidding for the fans' attention instead. And here you are, you're known as the Queen of Heavy Metal, and that title has nothing to do with whatsoever with any of that quote unquote bait that I mentioned. So looking back earlier in your career, what was it that made you decide not embrace that whole sex symbol thing, and to not follow what most if not all of your peers were doing at that time? Because when you're young and you have all these offers and promise for fame and fortune, if you just go along with it, it's extremely hard to pass something like that up. And I feel like you gained so much respect in the metal world by not going that route, which was I guess considered the conventional wisdom back then. So, what was it that made you decide to not go that way back when you started out?
Actually, I always followed my heart. I always did what I
Mm,
felt is right. And I thought, the being too sexy, I think that's not me. I like it natural. I like it, tough and
mm-hmm,
like a
mm-hmm,
yeah, more natural sex appeal. I like the black leather, which now it's not anymore real leather because I love animals, so it's all
mm-hmm.
fake leather. But I think
Fake.
it looks
It
good. It
looks
feels
great. Yeah,
good.
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah, and actually a couple of times I really had to fight for staying the way I want to stay, and
Mm,
like my look. I remember when I first came to America, then the record company said, "Yeah, you need to be a little bit more sexier and stuff, and more
mm,
mainstream, more commercial. It shouldn't be so heavy. It shouldn't be so metal." And I thought, "Oh
mm,
no, no!
mhm,
I feel metal." Which to me, metal was freedom, like to do whatever you feel and be yourself.
mhm,
So one time, it was the agency, like years ago, and it was when I was younger. The Playboy called and they said, "Yeah, we want
mm,
to do a nice photo session," and then I immediately said no. And then everybody's jaws dropped because they thought, "Ooh, it's probably a lot of money and stuff," and
Hmm.
everybody always wanted to get their share. So I said,
Sure.
"No, no, I never want to do that. That's like, other people do it much better, and that's great. But I'm not that type. I love."
Hmm.
I love the fans. I love metal. I love music, and I love more real stuff.
Hmm.
So yeah, but sometimes it was hard because everybody wanted to change the image or sound. There
Sure.
was another thing, so you have to always, like, fight for what you believe in, and
Hmm.
sometimes it was tough. And one time I did one record which I love so much. I know you know the record "Love Me in Black," and
Hmm.
then I
Sure.
said,
Yeah.
okay, when you want to name it "Love Me in Black," you have to cut your hair and dye it black, and, like,
Huh.
like a Mackie, like. And I said, what? No, no. And I like to stay the way I feel
Hmm.
good. I'm not like a fashion clown. And I said, yeah, but you need to change something. It's something new. And I thought, no, no way. And the consequence was this record never came out in the States, and I was so sad about it. But the diehard fans, they got every record, and they got the sinfully expensive imports. But yeah,
Hmm.
sometimes you have to decide what you want to do, but you have to take the consequences as well. And
True.
that's all right. That's all right, as
Hmm.
long as I can live with myself,
Sure.
and that
Hmm.
I can always say, you know I love the fans, and I would never do something to bring that deep, great connection in danger too. And
Hmm.
so, yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And also as a female vocalist in the '80s, if you were singing in a metal band, I mean, the band was just referred to as a metal band with a female singer or female vocals. Now today, it's got its own genre called female fronted, and
Yeah.
and to me, I think it's just so ignorant and just pretty much idiotic, to call it that, because I mean, it's supposed to be, to me, it's supposed to be looked at as an inclusive signal. Yet it's to me it's very divisive when you say female fronted genre, because you're categorizing a whole genre based off the gender of a person, but that has nothing to do with the type of rock or metal music that's being played. So I mean, I just wanted to get your take on that whole female fronted term. Is it? I mean, and do you think it's an appropriate name for a genre? And if you do, I mean, why do you think it is?
Actually, I mean, when people say it and mean it in a positive thing, and
Mm-hmm.
then sometimes, say, oh, female fronted, when it means something nice, then I
Mm-hmm.
think that's cool. I never thought there was, it was a big deal. I always felt like my heart is beating for metal, and I think metal is above that all. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
matter
Sure.
if you're a man or a woman, or
Mm-hmm.
or sometimes you change your sex. It's like it's all
Mm-hmm.
good. It's all good, and
Yeah.
and I think it doesn't matter where you're from. I think it's above that. So I
Mm-hmm.
think it might be what you said. It's a little strange. Maybe sometimes it might be a little bit diminishing, but
Mm-hmm.
when when these ladies do a great job, I'm proud of them. I think
Oh
there's so
yeah.
many great female musicians and
Mm-hmm.
singers, and I'm a fan of many bands. So, but yeah, but sometimes, yeah, it's different times. Like, in
It
the
is.
80s, it was more like I'm born and raised with the new wave of British heavy metal. It was more metal, and now it's more about, like, yeah, like
Like
the
identity
style
and
of metal is
politics,
different.
and yeah, it is. Yeah. Yeah.
And but I like it. I like it heavy, and I like it metal, and I love ballads as well, and
Mm-hmm.
anthems. But yeah, but there's something about metal which, yeah, I think some people, they call it metal, but then it's like, I don't know, it's something else. It's not
So yeah.
the way I perceive metal, or I feel it or felt it. But whatever makes you feel good, whatever the fans love, and
True.
whatever, like, yeah, gives you something or meaning. And yeah, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but yeah, yeah, I'm happy when people are happy, and
Mm-hmm.
and our fans, I always know what they want and what they kind of feel. And sometimes when I write new songs, then I know, oh man, when I feel excited about it, when my whole body is like, like
Yeah.
when there's magic, then I know, oh yeah, I think some fans will feel the same. It resonates with some fans, and
Sure.
I'm more in the metal vein, like Judas Priest, Accept,
Hmm.
Lemmy, Dio,
Yep.
I'm from that era. So, but
Sure.
it's all good, and
Yeah.
as long as people do something and live their dream, and when they want to start a band, oh, that's the best, starting a band or playing an instrument or doing something, just
Hmm.
like, especially in this day and age where it's
Yeah.
hard to yeah, all these restrictions and stuff. I feel it myself, that can sometimes drive you crazy, so you always have to try to keep busy and do something for other people or help other people and
Hmm.
try to make other people happy. That always makes me the happiest. It's like,
Sure.
yeah, when I can
Hmm.
give out positive energy.
It's a good point. Yeah, we need as much positive energy these days as we can get, right? Because it's a lot of
Absolutely.
negative energy out there right now. So that's yeah,
And
I
yeah,
agree with you. It's yeah.
worldwide, no, worldwide, so much
Hmm.
turmoil, and yeah, so
Yeah.
yeah, so music can only do good, and
It
yeah.
can only do good, right? I agree with you, Doro. Absolutely. I've read before too that in all your years as a recording artist, that when it came to producers, and you've obviously you've worked with so many great engineers and studio mavens over the years, that you consider Gene Simmons to be the best producer you ever worked with. I mean, why do you consider him, of all those producers you've worked with? Why was he the biggest one or the best one in your opinion?
Oh, it's easy to answer
Yeah.
because I was a big Kiss fan, and I'm a big
Okay.
Kiss fan. And if you meet your idol, I was growing up.
Hmm.
I had my first band when I was 15, and Kiss was like, the main inspiration. Then I met him in 1989. A
Okay.
promoter called me if I want to introduce Kiss on the legendary Monsters of Rock festival, and I said yes, yes, sure. And that was the first time that I met Kiss and that I met Gene Simmons. And
Okay.
then I thought, man, I want to record a Kiss song or maybe do something together. So we met in New York. It was actually a surprise, and he was super nice, very caring, very gentle. Yeah, and then we started working together, and it was for me a dream come true. So every day I went into the studio. We started in New York, but we recorded in LA in the Fortress studio where Kiss recorded Hot in the Shade. And I tell
Okay.
you, every time, I was like, I was a little fan. And that's to me, like, it was the biggest thing working with Gene. And yeah, and when you're a fan once, you're always a fan. So,
Sure.
and then
Very true.
Gene always said, he said, okay, Doro, when you do your vocals, look at me, look me in the eyes. He was right there. And I said,
Hmm.
no, I can't. He said, why can't you? I said, because you're Gene and I can't. He said, that's silly, just sing, And I always turned around, and then he felt like, why is she turning around? Is there something, weird? But yeah,
uh,
but it was, to me, it was so great. And
mhm.
man, I guess
That's
all
great.
the metal fans, they understand when they meet their, favorite band or singer
Mhm.
or idol. It's like you never get over that. And yeah, and every
Yeah.
day was, well, I was in heaven every day. He was the best, but he was
Yeah.
great. He was a school teacher before
That's right.
he
Yeah, he
was
was.
this, and he had a very
Mhm.
good way in teaching stuff. And I give you a little example if you have time.
Mhm.
There was one time I wrote a song. It was a demo, and it was a blues. And
Okay.
I gave Gene the cassette. We did everything on cassette back then. And he said, Dora, did you ever, do you know all the blues singers? And I said, well, a little bit. He said, okay, before you sing your first blues, next day he came back, a big stack with like 50 vinyl records,
Wow.
it was not DVD, it was VHS cassette. He said, okay, you read through everything, and then we go to a couple of live concerts. And we actually went together to Dr. John. He played in New York City in this
Okay.
little, dive. And then I was there with
Mhm.
Gene Simmons. All the other people looked at us, it was strange. But yeah, and he
Mhm.
said, okay, you have to learn about the blues, and then you're ready to sing your first blues. So
Oh.
that was years later that I did my first blues song on the
Mhm.
True at Heart album. But yeah, I learned a lot, and he was very, very caring. And yeah,
Yeah. He was more. It sounds like he was more of a mentor too than just a producer
yeah,
at that point,
yeah,
right? Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And the whole guys in the studio, we were always sitting there, and yeah, and he was talking about stuff, and yeah, everybody was always in awe, and it was really cool, very down to earth, and yeah, and
Yeah.
very, very nice. And
Awesome.
it
Yeah.
was, yeah, to me, oh God, yeah, yeah. Thinking of that, it's like, wow, it's, yeah, it was unbelievable. Yeah, I feel
Sure.
like a little kid again. Yeah,
Sure, I totally understand. Well, speaking of legends, obviously, the hard rock and metal world, we've been grieving over the last few weeks since the passing of the late great Eddie Van Halen. And I know you played, I believe, like a show or so, at least a show or two over the years with him and Van Halen, right? So, talk about a little bit about how influential Eddie was on you as a youngster, growing up listening to rock and metal, and what kind of what was your experience like when you opened for such a band and a musician like him?
oh man, it was awesome. I couldn't believe it. And it was so
Hmm.
great to see him live. I was watching every show from the monitor desk, and live, it was even more mind blowing. And he was always in a good mood. He was always having a big smile on his face, always a
Yeah.
cigarette in his mouth. And
Hmm.
uh, when I started, my first band was called Snakebite in 1980, and
Hmm.
everybody was always listening to his guitar skills. My guitar players, they were like so inspired. So I think they practiced many more hours because of Eddie Van Halen. Everybody wanted to learn what he did. And the tour, it was in 98. That was
Mm.
awesome. It was not a long tour, but I'm so grateful that we could even do this tour. And yeah, and I never met him after this tour, but he was super nice, super kind. He was like, like a great friend. Like, he
Hmm.
felt like a brother. He was one of the
Wow,
guys. And
that's
of
cool.
course, my guys in the band, they were like, wow, they were blown away. And
Hmm.
yeah, and I think, yeah, it did something to us to even, yeah, to get to meet him and to see him play live. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was such a talent. I heard that he played all these instruments like fantastic, not
Hmm.
only the guitar. So he was
Yeah.
super talented. And
Yeah. No,
yeah, we
he
miss him so much. It's
yeah, he's a
a
big. That's
shock.
a big, huge loss. Yeah, I know. I totally agree. Well, Dora. When the Guinness Book of World Records, I think, starts recording information about the pandemic, it looks like I think you've reserved your spot in the book, being the first heavy metal artist to perform at a drive-in concert. And I'll be honest with you, me personally, initially, I was pretty, skeptical or sour on the whole drive-in concert experience. And I told myself I was just going to wait until everything gets back to normal. But the fact is, we have no idea when that's going to be. And so I've
Yeah.
actually now warmed up to the idea of going to those kind of shows. Since none of us have any idea when we're going to see live music again the old-fashioned way. But so since you have experienced that, I mean, talk about the pros and cons, the positives and the not so good things about it. I mean, obviously, I'm sure it was just great in general to be out there and playing for the fans, but I'm sure there was also some sort of like shortcomings or weird things about it as well. So, what was your experience like when you played the drive-in show in Germany?
Yeah, actually, this year we had so many touring plans, the greatest
Mm,
festivals, like to America tours, to European tours, South
mm.
America tour, Australia tour. And when everything fell through, the last time I played in America was on the Megadeth cruise, on the Mega Cruise in
Oh, okay.
February.
Hmm.
One concert afterwards was in Europe with Saxon. They had their 40th anniversary. We played
Okay.
together with Tigers of Pantang, Diamond Head, Saxon, and
Oh,
us. And
nice.
then 1 week later, our tour was going to start. And then everything fell through, and we postponed everything for September, which now that didn't happen. And
Hmm.
actually, nothing worked anymore. It was really shocking. And yeah, and then we thought, okay, the festivals, everything will be okay when the festivals start, but that didn't happen. So I don't know, somebody called us and I said, well, shall we do a drive-in show? And I thought, what is that? And he said, well, it's an autokino show, drive-in show. You play live and there's a big screen. And I thought, okay, yeah, okay, let's try it. Let's try it. So first time I hopped on stage, I tell you, it looked like our All We Are video. We filmed it in
Oh.
87, and the performance was on top of a tour bus, and then everybody was sitting in their cars, and the
Hmm.
story was like the people were frozen in their cars, and then through the magic of the warlocks, through the magic of metal, they would come to life and would, rock out with us. So when I
Uh,
first hopped on stage, it looked exactly like that. It was like mind blowing. It was so surreal, and
wow.
it was like a deja vu. And I thought, wow, I saw that before. And then we were trying to do a good show. And in the end, I went down to the people singing "All We Are All Together." It was with a lot of distance, so it was absolutely safe. But I was so happy to see them. Everybody had a great time. I played sometimes some little silly games, like when people were stuck in their cars. I said, "Okay, let me see your blinkers," or let me hear you honk
Oh,
your
cool.
horn.
Okay.
And that was actually louder than a
Oh, wow.
metal war Motorhead concert. I think that was the last time they put on in that particular city a
Okay.
driving concert, because it was so loud. And and then somebody filmed "All We Are," like just 2 minutes, and put it on our Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. And in between 2 days, we had like, I think, 600,000 views. And then more people called us, and some people said, "Hey, we have a drive-in thing here too. We never did a show, but you guys want to do another show again?" We thought, okay, let's pull it off. So I must say, it's different. It's not the same like a normal festival or show.
Sure.
Certainly not. But it's better than doing nothing. And it was great to connect with the fans. And we had so much fun. And then sometimes I said, "Okay, let me see you bang your heads." And of course, I couldn't see that. I could see only cars. And I said, "Okay, let me see you shake your cars like there's no tomorrow." And then almost cars were flying. You know, it was
Oh, wow.
so
Nice.
awesome. So I think, we all had fun. And it's, I would lie if I would say it's like a normal show. It's not, but
Sure.
it's good. It's good. It's the best next thing. And I'm hoping for getting back to normal, but it was certainly fun. And and it's definitely, I like when people have some new ideas. It's a new challenge. It's a new adventure. After the first show, my body was so stiff. Every muscle was like, I thought,
Really?
it's like when you work out for the first time in years. And I thought, I gotta get, like in better shape to even survive a drive-in show, because it takes so much out of you. You have to, get it going, get everybody on fire with lots of distance. And sometimes people had to be sitting in their cars, windows rolled up, so you don't hear anything, you don't hear
Okay.
any feedback. So you have to
Yeah.
imagine, it's tough, it's hard, it's
Yeah.
hard work,
Sounds
but
like it.
it
Yeah.
was fun.
Yeah.
So it was great. And better than
That's great.
nothing.
Better than
So
nothing, right? Yeah, I agree. Well, I mean, I did notice that you currently have a large number of shows scheduled for next year, which will hopefully take place. Is that still kind of is that has that been canceled? Or are those shows still going, like still scheduled as at least as for now?
yeah, for now
Yeah,
they're
for
all
now, right?
scheduled. I,
Okay,
I
yeah,
hope I hope it will work. We have great festivals coming up. And all these great shows, so all over the world. So I hope it will happen. But of course, everybody needs to be safe. Health is
yeah,
the most important thing. I was one
absolutely.
time very sick, and I was 1 year in a hospital,
Oh,
really fighting for my life. I didn't know if I would survive. So that
wow,
experience, that taught me a lot. So I definitely, I make sure everybody is safe, the fans,
sure.
the band, the road crew. So but I hope that we will play
Yeah,
and
I know.
get
Fingers
to the road
crossed. I know.
again. Yeah.
Yeah,
But if not, then I work on a new record, and we're
yeah,
already I have 6 songs already done. And
yeah.
and the new record hopefully will come out next year.
Yeah, I was
And
going to ask you. I was going to ask you about that. Yeah, I remember reading that it had a 2021 date. You'd released the track "Brick Wall," this past summer, which is a really cool track. So right now things are sort of still up in the air about the new record. Is that the deal? Yeah.
Next year. Yeah, sometimes they say, a new record out without a tour, that's not such a good idea. But yeah, I'm definitely working on a new record. And yeah, I think next year, maybe, I don't know if springtime, that's too early, but like summer, autumn,
Yeah.
definitely new
Are you gonna
record.
wait? Are you gonna wait to release it and so you can tour for it? Is that sort of the plan?
Yeah,
Or yeah,
the booking agency, they said, well, that would be better. And many other people, they said,
sure.
hopefully we can support it in live. But
Yeah.
we'll see. But
So yeah, it's all up in the air. I know. I totally understand. So Doro, thanks so much for coming on. Why don't you go ahead and just tell the listeners and the viewers where they can purchase the box set and find out more about your tour that's coming up in 2021. Hopefully that it's still scheduled in the near future.
yeah, it's just our socials, yeah, everybody has like actually their different Doro pages, and they're all good. The fans are doing so much stuff, but our official one is like Instagram is Doro Metal Queen, and Facebook is Doro Official, and yeah, and the record I guess you can buy everywhere, Amazon or your local record store, which we have the two double vinyl in color, and the box set is coming with a little perfume. So for collectors, it's a little skull, and there are two perfumes. One is a bigger bottle for men and women, and and that's the record. That's how it looks.
There it is right there. Perfect.
That's actually a test pressing. I didn't see the real one yet. Yeah.
Okay.
But that's the one. Yeah, it has 56 songs.
56 songs.
Lots live, new live versions, and and all the duets, and so much stuff. So just check it out. I guess Amazon or the internet, or wherever you find good records, and and record stores. That's of course would be the best. So
well, we can't all wait to check it out. Well, Doro, thanks you so much for coming on, and good luck with everything, and hopefully we see you on tour in 2021. That's what we're hoping for.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes,
it was my last interview today.
Oh, good. Okay, so now you're free.
Before, and I was like, oh God, I didn't know that it was like this cool thing. I never did it before, the video stream, but it was cool. I had a lot of fun, and I wish you all the best, all the fans out there. Stay healthy, stay metal, keep on rocking. I love you, and talk hopefully on the next album, or see you on tour. Or,
absolutely, definitely, Doro. Thank you so much. Appreciate it so much. Take care. Good luck. Bye-bye. Okay, bye-bye. Thanks for listening to Aftershocks. For more episodes, go to our website at www.aftershockspodcast.com. Visit us on our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter pages for more news and information on the podcast. And be sure to subscribe, listen to, and review all episodes on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all other podcast platforms. For your music listening pleasure, visit our website or go to www.shockwavesradio.com. For all comments and questions, please email us at info@aftershockspodcast.com.